Namaste all. Hi. Today we are going to talk about education. Till the day we talked about two things that we presume rather concern the most relevant science history. The third one education that we are going to talk. In these three, education is the bigger one as we think, and what we educate others, science and history simple. So we have discussed about the defects of history and science. As that, like that, we are discussing the defects of education here. All you know good things of education. I know that. So how shall be the education system? How it could be? How it would be? How it should be? As I am concerning, education is the biggest challenge now. There is a big infamous ego in 80% Indians in India. For the last at least 2 or 3 generations, especially after independence, we became more dependent to the educational system that going on Western countries, and we needed to implement that here. What happened? When you are having money, you are educated. You are not having, you cannot reach there. The reach of education got shorter than before independence, maybe. Got smaller. What would be the reason? The reason is finance, financial status. I need my boy to study in a great school. And in attire also, you should be wearing a tie and a overcoat and should speak English. This is the scenario we dream, any parents dream to have for their children. One Swamiji has said, Swami Vivekananda ji, what is that? And we can connect those words to the education. In his words, our great defect in life is that we are so much drawn into the ideal. The goal is so much bigger. The goal is much more enchanting, so much more alluring, so much bigger in our mental horizon that we lost sight of the details altogether. That was said by Swamiji. You could understand that. We pressurizing and put into the child's mind a biggest dream, even that he cannot comprehend, then pressurize and go and study, go and study, go and study. The talking voice in his house is becoming go and study, go and study, go and study. And he loses his steadiness, mental and physical steadiness that he loses because he is getting confused what he has to do. He has some instincts in his mind, maybe of a good musician, maybe of good artist, good paint artist, and maybe of good actor. He lost everything because his parents or her parents need him or her studying always. What is happening? And you are saying that education. What is educated there? They are just parroting. They become a parroting generation. Is that you want from your child? So education having 4 pillars, I think so, I feel so. What is the pillars? What are the pillars? Pillars: general knowledge, social interaction, and liberty to think, freedom to think also, and the way to culture. So let me check, let me ask, let me think something about that. Lord Macaulay was establishing educational system in India. He wrote once to London saying that here in India there are no beggars. They are highly rich by their cultural, traditional knowledges, and we have to de-promote that. If we want to rule India, we have to de-promote, degrace the Indian culture by educational system. He established and he won, I will say that, because the upcoming generations, especially after independence, the generations got a mostly 80% of Indians were infamous for their ego to go abroad and study, speak like Oxford accent, speak in American accent, and go and study at Harvard University. So what happened? India became more poor in education especially. And the impoverishment was going on about our educational system. Even though so, India became a great educated people's land. Like I said yesterday, you can see everywhere in India an Indian, WHO, Dr. Harshvardhan, IMF, Dr. Geeta Gopinath. Some personality is always there in among the top brass of any great worldwide organizations. That is the greatness of Indian land, Indian soil. So we check that have we got or our children getting these four pillars, at least one of them: culture, social interaction, general knowledge, or freedom to think. And the infamous ego is still prevailing in India, that criticizing every steps of Indian. Being in Indian soil, living in Indian land, we criticizing, rather blaming, rather deriding, degrading, demoralizing our anything, any custom, any culture, any tradition. I am very sorry to say that religiously we have labeled India as a secular country. The most dangerous, the most hypocritical word. And who is they saying that they don't know the meaning of that word, at least. I will say, and once a great scholar have said that, I think named Kutti Krishnamala or something, belongs to Kerala, someone belongs to Kerala. He said that India is not a secular country, India is all religious country. All tradition could be having here. All traditions, all religions that we are seeing here, because that is the Hindu culture, that is the power of Hindu culture. Because India is a land of Hindu, so that any religion can come here and establish here. Hindu will protect them. Practically now what happened? Hindu became slave of them in finance, in education, in any spectrum. Hindu became backward and they ruled over Hindu. Is that true? In a great country like India, why this happens? The thought of Lord Macaulay. And I give him full marks, 100 out of 100. He won very much on that. His looking ahead power, capacity, agency was great. So educationally, what happening in India? Like I said earlier, if you are financially sound, you will get better education. And I don't believe in so-called better education and smaller education and bad education. Education is always good at any scale. I don't believe in better education, bad education. But as you say, if we hearing, so in education we are dividing children. At that very point, we lose the ability to control children from dividing themselves. By that, social interaction will be getting collapsed. Tomorrow, he or she will say bad, good. At least we don't teach them to see anybody divided. Please don't teach such. Cultural, uncultural, untouchable. Please, we treat them as children only. They are not a 4 years matured man. He's a cute boy, cute girl of 4 years. So, don't disgrade anybody that we have to teach them. Don't disgrace anybody that we have to teach them. Now I am coming to the general knowledge factor. What is the general knowledge? We have to understand that much. General knowledge is something general, should be general. And by that knowledge, our children has to be proud of our nation, our tradition, our culture. Don't be otherwise. We don't make otherwise them. In last century, there was a bad ritual called sati in India. And what was that? When a husband got demised, his wife had to jump onto the same fire on which he get burnt up. That is a bad ritual. It means the wife is not deserved to live after her husband's demise. And it got eradicated at last. Who eradicated? That's the question. Now we study that British eradicated that. Not at all. We, in my generation, know that Rajaram Mohan Roy was there, took an initiative and went in every villages at India where this happening and stop them from doing that. He was the great man who stopped all these bad rituals. Unfortunately, history credits British for that. That's a bad thing. That's not general knowledge. Tipu Sultan, the other hero. What was Tipu Sultan's grace? He killed a mass containing lakhs of people. That was his freedom fight. Aurangzeb, great emperor, who killed his father, we worshipped him as a great emperor. Shah Jahan, who believed to make Taj Mahal. And he killed the same artist who designed, who architected the great, beautiful Taj Mahal. So these are the mistakes. This is not at all a general knowledge, because the knowledge misleading the kids. We cannot permit that. Knowledge is to make our children proud of our culture, our tradition, our ancestors about. Otherwise, it's a waste exercise, the education. and at last they become anti-nationals. 2 days back, our famous politician asked, who sent our military to the lazy, unarmed, and today's kids, what will they think? Reading this, they think, oh, our government doing nothing. They are cheating our military men. And what is the reality? What is the truth? So this is the kind of misleading done by general knowledge. So today I cannot suggest to read a newspaper or look at any channel to promote your general knowledge, because they are completely degrading our nation. So I cannot suggest that. By hearing or reading that, my child cannot be a proud man of my nation. And I don't call them a general knowledge. A general knowledge only becoming that to promote your pride, your kids' pride rather. At any nation, I am saying that. And you are saying gratefully about America being here, in this land, in this soil, being this soil, living this land, as I said. Blaming here's customs and culture and doings. So that cannot be called general knowledge. Columbus and Magellan or Galileo circumvented the globe. At last, they returned to the same point where they embarked. And the historian put down, Columbus found out that the earth is a round, the globe is a round, the earth is a globe, a round, a circle. In ancient Puranas, there is mentioning of Bhuvogolam in Sanskrit. So, who are the actual beneficiaries of that findings? So, I don't need to deny any Western, as I said, about science. But my children, our children, should be proud of our doings, our rishis. Please grow them up like that. So general knowledge is becoming knowledge when you promote their pride, you enhance their pride about our nation's culture, tradition and anything, everything. That is the mode of, that should be the mode of general knowledge. Otherwise, it's also cooked up, fabricated so-called stories only. Our politicians is the biggest poisonous demons in the earth. Politicians, everywhere, anywhere. They don't care of people whom they rule. But If somebody having a good thinking to rule, they will be stopped by others doing anything, from doing anything. Because our culture is so impoverishment is the our culture. Impoverishment. Starting from the British rule, it's also going on now. And I am not here wish to include our beloved Prime Minister here as a politician. I don't say him a politician. He's a great man. He wants to do and having done something to the poor and the down level of the society. But politics and education, please, cannot be mixed with. Now we are doing that at college level, and at the end of high school we are starting dividing the boys or girls, making them factions of certain political ideologies. From there they become much false proud people, false proud character. So the advantage or the quality of education being destroyed there. You are not behaving your behavior as an educated man or educated person. Here is the first thing I wish to expose, that general knowledge that's also cooked up. So children has the right to know, right to understand their ancient story, their ancient culture, their ancient great souls in the real sense, not by the education only. If you teach Bhagavad Gita, so-called politicians take a sword and comes to the ground, goes to the streets, destroying everything, saying that communalization, without understanding that the Gita is the greatest management text we have. What is the Gita? Did a wrong thing. So don't know that. They have some wicked plans, agenda to take on these things and stop those proceedings. So I here disagree with this general knowledge giving system, and we are googling for anything. So how we can make our pupils, our kids, children proud of our things, proud of our culture, our tradition, our custom, and following that, not only becoming proud but following that, they will be good personalities. That's our duty. That's the advantage of giving general knowledge to them, I believe, since I believe. So this is for today. Tomorrow we will continue. As every day I say, please watch full video and subscribe and share it, like it. Thank you. Have a good day. Goodbye. Jai Shri Krishna.